Good morning, students. Myself, K. Lakshmi, Assistant Professor in the Department of SNH, Chevrolet Engineering College. Title, Band Theory of Solids. Topic, Bloch Theorem. In the last session, we discussed about what is the differences between conductors, semiconductors, and insulators, and also origin of energy band. Today's session we discuss about the Bloch theorem. So this theory was introduced by Bloch. So according to this theory, free electrons in metals move in a periodic potential field. Actually, in classical mechanics and also in quantum free electron theory, in both theories, in their assumptions, free electron having constant potential. That means in classical free electron theory, by taking electrons potential as a constant, he explained some properties, but still distinguish between conductors, semiconductors, and insulators does not explain. Similarly, quantum free electron theory also. So in that theory also, they're taking assumption as a free electron having constant potential. But here the very important consideration is, very important assumption is, according to Bloch, when electron moves in a metal with a periodical potential, that is the very important point here. That means when this is a metal, for example, then electron moves like a constant potential throughout the metal. But here, when electron moves in a metal, it has a periodical potential field like that. That means increase, decrease, again increase, again decrease like that. A repeated variations in potential, that is a periodical potential. So let us discuss briefly about that. Generally in metals consisting of atoms, so in atoms, we have nucleus that is positively charged and electrons move. So here, this is the schematic figure of a periodic arrangement. Actually, in solids, atoms are arranged in a periodic manner like that. So here the positive is indicates the nucleus. That means it is an atom. So this is a one atom, this is a second atom, third, fourth. And entire the electrons move freely like gas molecules in a container. But the positive nucleus, that is called lattice, positive lattice ion core. This positive lattice ion core is fixed, but the electrons are moved randomly throughout the metal. So here, these electrons are moved with some velocity, that with some potential. So this potential is varying inside the crystal. So that is, in this second picture, it is clearly. So for example, we have positive lattice ion core like that. So this is a positive lattice ion core, that is a nucleus. So these are the points indicates the positive nucleus, that is a positive lattice ion core. So here this picture is one dimensional. So whenever electrons are moved, when these electrons are moved near to the positive charge, then its potential is decreases. And again, when they are moved away from the nucleus, again its potential energy is increases. The same way repeated. So that's why the electron potential is changes. That means when it reaches a positive charge, its potential energy is decreases. When it moves away from the nucleus, its potential energy increases. If they having another nucleus just beside that, again it moves near to the positive charge, its potential decreases. Again it moves, its potential energy is increases. That means the potential is minimum at positive ion and the potential is maximum. So this is the maximum position between two positive ions. So it is a periodical variation in potential of the electron. So that is the Bloch theorem. So what is the statement of Bloch theorem? Free electrons in metals moves in a periodic potential field. So, and the condition, let us derive Bloch's condition. So this is the derivation part. Let us take a Schrodinger's wave equation. So here, Schrodinger's wave equation. D square xi by dx square plus 8 pi square m by h square E minus V of x xi is equal to 0. So this is the one of the Schrodinger's wave equation. So here V of x is called potential. So generally this potential is varying. Here the potential is taking as a periodical potential. In that purpose, V of x is equivalent to V of x plus E. Here, what is the lattice constant? So a lattice constant means, so it is the successive distance between two nucleuses here. So this is the lattice constant, like that. So this is A, or this is A, this is A. So what are the successive distances? So as a potential is taking as a periodical potential, then you simply replace the V of x by V of x plus E. So according to Bloch theorem, the solution of the equation is also changes. Actually, this equation we also used in particle in a box. The solution is taken as a xi of x is equal to A sine kx plus B cos kx is equal to 0, like that. Okay, not equal to 0, just A sine kx plus B cos kx. Okay. Actually, in that case, as potential is taking as a 0. That is particle in a box case. But here, as the potential is periodical potential, then the solution of this equation is changed as, that is according to Bloch theorem, it is changed as xi k of x is equal to uk of x exponential of ikx. So this is the form of solution form according to Bloch theorem for equation 1. That is for Schrodinger's wave equation. Here k is the state of the motion of the electron and xi k of x is called Bloch function. Actually, we have to take in a one dimensional only d square xi by dx square. So xi k of x is the Bloch function. And here the uk of x is called periodic with the periodicity of the crystal lattice. Now, simply uk of x means It is a periodic function. That means change with the time. Actually, this is the expression, that is UK of X is only expression for one atom. But actually we have in one dimensional having length L consisting of n number of atoms. So in place of UK of X, we use UK of X plus Na. Actually, UK of X is written as for one atom, UK of X plus A. Is it enough? But here we have n atoms, then it is considered as a lattice constant for n atoms is Na. So that's why in UK X place we have to use UK of X plus Na. Now, again, using equation 3, this is the solution of the equation, Schrodinger's wave equation. Now, Zk of, so replace here X by X plus Na, that is, this solution is only one dimensional for one atom. Now, for applying the solution for n number of atoms, by replacing in place of X by X plus Na. So, Zk of X plus Na is equal to UK of X plus Na and exponential of Ik in place of X plus Na. So here we have exponential of, multiply the Ik, then we get Ikx plus Ikne. Ikne. Okay. Now, separate the exponential term. Exponential A plus B, exponential A into, that is exponential of Ikx and exponential of Ikna. And we have UK of X is equal to, from equation 4, UK of X plus Na. So, by replacing UK of X plus Na by UK of X here. Okay. Now, this is the expression UK of X exponential of Ikx from equation 3. This is the expression for the Zk of X. Now, simply Zk of X plus Na is equal to Zk of X into exponential of Ikn. So this is called block condition. So once again I repeat. According to Bloch theorem, free electrons in metal moves in a periodic potential. That means as electrons move near to the positive ion core with the minimum potential, as the ion is between two positive ions with a maximum potential. So the same figure here we represented here. So these are the positive ion core, lattice ion core. As the electron move towards the positive ion core, its potential is decreases. Okay, gradually decreases. And between the two positive ions, its potential is maximum. So this variation in potential, minimum and maximum, again minimum and maximum. So that is a periodic potential. So by changing the potential as a periodical potential, so here, this is the Schrodinger's wave equation. As we taking potential as a periodical potential, then V of X is written as V of X plus V. And here, the solution of this equation is according to Bloch theorem, psi k of x is equal to uk of x exponential of ik of x. Here the psi k of x is called Bloch function in one dimensional and uk of x is called periodicity function. Now we have n number of atoms are present in a for a L length of one dimensional case. That means a box consisting of length L and it is consisting of n number of atoms. Then this periodicity uk of x is equivalent to uk of x plus ne. Now, again equation 3, psi k of x plus na is equivalent to uk of, that is x plus na, by replacing x value here by x plus na. So this is exponential of ikx plus exponential of ikn. Now, uk of x into exponential of ikx is equivalent to psi k of x. So this is the Bloch condition. Okay. And the next concept is effective mass of electron. So already we discussed in Bloch theorem, when electron in a periodical potential lattice, so actually electron move in the metal due to by giving external electric field or magnetic field. That's why the electron move within the metal with a various velocities. That means with a periodical potential. That is, the mass of the electron actually constant. Already we discussed in various problems. 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. This is the mass of the electron. But as the electron accelerated by an electric field, due to that, the mass of the electron varies with velocity. That means here the very important point is, mass of the electron is not constant, it varies. And it varies with velocity. So this change, that means the mass of the electron is a function of velocity. And the mass of the electron is not constant. It is a change by change of velocity. So this is called effective mass of the electron. And it is indicated by the symbol m star. So actually in the lower classes, you have to know the mass of the electron is constant. That is fixed value 9.1 into 10 power minus 31 kg. But whenever this concept is developed, the mass of the electron is not constant. It is varies with the velocity. So this mass is called effective mass of the electron. And it is indicated by the symbol m star. Now, what is the expression for the m star? What is the expression for the effective mass of the electron? Now, let us discuss. So here, the velocity of the electron is varies due to applying electric or magnetic field. Then only the electron velocity is varies. Due to that, mass of the electron is varies. Let us consider an electron of a charge E and mass M moving inside the crystal lattice, due to electric field E. Now, whenever an electric field is applied, a Lorentz force is developed. That Lorentz force F is equivalent to small e into capital E. Actually, this is the topic we have to discuss in second chapter, that is derivation of electrical conductivity on the basis of classical free electron theory, and also we discuss in quantum free electron theory also. Whenever an electric field is applied, a Lorentz force is developed between the charges. That means actually this is the, let us consider a crystal lattice, for example, crystal lattice like that. Now, here we have electrons. Whenever an electric field is applied, now these electrons are moved exactly opposite to the field direction. So a force is developed. This force is called Lorentz force. But actually we have force expression F is equal to ma. Okay. By equating these two equations, that is ma is equal to small e into capital E. Then we get acceleration expression as a is equal to small e capital E by m. Here, a is not a constant in the periodic lattice. That means the acceleration is not constant as the electrons velocity changes. Then automatically the mass of the electron is also changes. So in place of m, we have to use as a m star. So a is equal to expression small e capital E by m star. As electrons move in the crystal lattice, we have a large number of electrons are there. Now the group velocity Vg expressed in terms of energy and propagation vector as group velocity Vg is equal to 1 by h cross dE by dk. 1 by h cross dE by dk. From Einstein equation, E is equal to energy equation, E is equal to h nu. As h cross is equal to h by 2 pi. And acceleration is called rate of change of velocity. Okay. Now, by using these formulas as Vg is equal to 1 by h cross dE by dk and E is equal to h nu, by all these expressions, as acceleration is equivalent to rate of change of group velocity. So rate of change of group velocity is nothing but dVg by dt. Okay. Now what is Vg here? So d by dt. So Vg here 1 by h cross dE by dk. Okay. Now here dE by dk. Okay. Now here we change the Vg as a 1 by h cross dE by dk here. 1 by h cross. Okay. 1 by h cross as constant. Just move this side. Then we get d by dt into d into d. Okay, we can write as a d square e by, we have here dt and here we have dk. Okay. So d by dt of 1 by h cross dE by dk. So 1 by h cross, right? This side it is a constant value. 1 by h cross constant value. And d into d square e. We have dt and dk. Okay. Now 1 by h cross d square e by. Here a small change is there. Just simply multiply by dk in denominator and numerator. So multiply this by dk in denominator and numerator. Okay. So then we get 1 by h cross as it is d square e and dk. There is also dk here, again dk, then we get dk square as it is dt is there. Okay. So simply here just multiply the dk term on numerator and denominator, then we get this expression. As momentum, we can written as h cross k. And also rate of change of momentum is force. Okay. So from this expression, h cross k is equal to p. Okay. So d by dt, in place of p we have h cross k is equal to f. Okay. Now h cross is a constant, we can move this side also. Then we get only dk by dt is equal to, just move this side, f by h cross. Okay. Now we got the expression dk by dt as f by h cross. So already we have acceleration expression is 1 by h cross square d square e by dk square. Here we have dk by dt. What is the value of dk by dt? F by h cross. Now substitute here f by h cross here. Then we get 1 by h d square e by dk square f by h cross. So h into h cross square. And as usual f there. Okay. Therefore, just move this entire into this side. Then we get expression for the f. So what is the expression for the f? By cross multiply here, h cross square divided by t square e by dk square into a. So this is the expression as compared with the f is equal to m star a. In place of m star we have h cross square d square e by dk square. So this is the expression for the effective mass of the electron. Okay. So here, very important point is effective mass means effective mass of the electron is nothing but as the electric field is applied, the velocity of the electron is varies. So respective mass of the electron is also varies with velocity. So that is called effective mass of the electron. Now as electric field is applied, a Lorentz force is developed. That Lorentz force is small e, capital E. But actually we have force F is equal to ma. By comparing these two equations, and ma is equal to small e into capital E. Now acceleration expression is small e capital E by m. But as m is taken as m star, that is effective mass of the electron. As electrons are moved with some velocity, we have different electrons, various electrons, then we consider as a group velocity. So group velocity expression in terms of energy is 1 by h cross dE by dk. But acceleration definition is rate of change of velocity, that is d by dt of vc. Now substitute here vc expression in this. 1 by h cross is constant and d into d square e, and the remaining dt and dk terms are there. Now here we just here multiply with the dk in the denominator and in numerator. Then we get this step. 1 by h cross d square e by dk square dk by dt. Now we have rate of change of momentum is called force. But momentum is nothing but h cross k. Okay. Therefore, d by dt in place of p, h cross k is equal to f. Now h cross k move this side. Then we get expression for the dk by dt as f by h. Now substitute here. Then acceleration a is equal to 1 by h cross square d square e by dk square f. Now move the entire term to this side. Then we get expression for the force F is equal to h cross square d square e by dk square into a. Now compare this equation 3 with the F is equal to m star a. Then m star expression is h cross square d square e by dk square. This is the expression for the effective mass of the electron. Okay. In the next session, we discuss about the Cronin-Penny model. That is very important say question, and also concept of the hole. Okay. Thank you to all.